In Donald Trump's civil rape trial, the infamous 2005 Access Hollywood tape where he grabs about assaulting women was shown as an exhibit to the jury yesterday. Not only did the jury watch the video itself, they got to watch Trump during the October deposition, watching the infamous video in real time.
You know, and
she used to be, but she's still very beautiful.
I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and she was married.
It's huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even know. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the you can do anything.
E. Jean Carroll's attorney then asked Trump about those comments, and he basically admitted to doing exactly what he said. He really did.
And you did say in the video that you, quote, moved on her heavily, correct?
Excuse me?
You do say in the video that you, quote, moved on her heavily.
I did say that, yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
And you do say in the video that as part of trying to have sex with this woman, you took her furniture shopping, correct?
We actually did look for furniture, yes.
So that was true. You actually took this woman, Nancy.
I think so. It's been a long time ago. It's how long is it? A long time ago. But I think so. I do think so.
Is that the only occasion when you took a woman shopping?
I think so.
And you say, and again, this has become very famous in this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's. If you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
Unfortunately or fortunately, MSNBC legal analyst Lisa Rubin was in the courtroom when the jury saw all that, and she joins me now. What a strange sort of inception moment. They're in the jury room watching a deposition in which he's small screened while they play the Access Hollywood tape. Just what was that like in the room during the 45 minutes of deposition excerpts they got to see?
Bizarre. And you can see him sort of trying to think on his feet, too, because initially, in a portion that you guys didn't show, he's saying, oh, this has been litigated already. That's locker room talk, locker room talk. I think I said that in a debate. And then he is confronted with the tape itself and his words, and then he owns them, right? Historically, that's been true, fortunately or unfortunately. And then he says, she says, oh, that's true. Stars can do that. And his response is breathtaking, right? For a million years, I didn't know that the Hollywood studio system was a million years old, but for a million years, and you consider yourself a star, I think it's fair to say that. That is essentially going from minimizing the statement entirely from locker room talk to, I'm going to own this and be, I don't know, an expert on history of how the star system has evolved in this country.
It's also the ideology of sexual predation. I mean, it's the belief system of dominance and predation, which is basically if you have a certain status, consent doesn't matter, which is what it's articulated in the video and what he reaffirms as his binding belief there.
Which is also why the she's not my type statements are so bizarre. So to go back to your point, right, if sexual assault is fundamentally about predation and control and dominance and violence, whether or not you're someone's physical type really doesn't have anything to do with it at all.
Well, and it's also, I mean, I want to play a little bit of his insults just during the deposition because this is what this is just what he does. He's a person who is wildly insecure, is sort of driven above all things by his insecurity, and that insecurity turns into this sort of like lashing out insults. And this is him just sort of his various insults that were played during the deposition. Take a look.
I still don't know this woman. I think she's a whack job, but I know nothing about her. I think she's sick, mentally sick. You wouldn't be a choice of mine either, to be honest with you. I hope you're not insulted. I would not, under any circumstances, have any interest in you. I'm honest when I say it.
This is Robbie Kaplan, one of the sort of most celebrated litigators and out gay women in the American bar. But it just seems to me that, like, I don't know. I just don't know how that, like, truculence and insolence and then just sort of owning it reads to the jury. I mean, there's no way to know.
There really isn't any way to know. I will say that the courtroom was really silent during the playing of this deposition. And even though there were people like me in the courtroom who have read excerpts of this, right? We have seen excerpts of this deposition before. They were released as part of the filings in this case in January. I think I actually was here with you, Chris, and we talked about them when they were first released. Despite that, seeing him own them, saying them, his body language was really wild, and you could hear a pin drop in that courtroom.
So on Monday we have closing arguments. There was a little bit. This is a back and forth from yesterday, and I think this is about this, Trump boasting that he's going to come back, right? Which he's not going to do. I mean, I'll eat my hat if he does. This is Tacopina. I'm going to rest. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to rest. Judge, I understand. Tacopina, okay. Judge, and that may well prove to be the case, but I will wait and see. Tacopina then, Judge, and I'm not implying dishonesty on your part, meaning that when you say you rest, Tacopina says, no, I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you understand what I'm dealing with.
That's exactly right.
To a person, everyone who ever has worked with him at some point is in this position of being like, you understand who this
Yes, and there was a moment, the part that you just read happened outside the earshot, not only of the jury, but of all of the observers in the courtroom. It was published in the transcript that we got today. But when they came out from that conversation, they sort of rehashed that conversation publicly in front of everyone. And I noticed Judge Kaplan was very gentle towards Joe Tacopina and basically said the same thing publicly. I'm not implying that you are being dishonest, Mr. Tacopina, with the court. There seemed to be a sort of simpatico between them. I understand the difficult position you're in. Donald Trump does this, as you said, to each and every one of his lawyers.
Closing arguments Monday. Just final thought here. I mean, there is a reason, right? The majority of sexual assaults are not reported. Those are reported. Very few go to trial. When they do go to trial, it can be very hard to secure a conviction. This is decades after the incident. It's in a civil trial, so there's a different standard of evidence, preponderance of the evidence, as opposed to beyond a reasonable doubt. And yet, for all the reasons that it is difficult to secure justice in a courtroom under laws of evidence of a sexual assault, it doesn't strike me that this is necessarily a slam dunk.
It's not necessarily a slam dunk for a lot of the reasons that you just recalled. And I think that's less to do with whether she screamed or whether she reported, to the fact that she can't pinpoint certain details. And they were able to chip away at her case. One of the things that you and I talked about on a break is that at one point somebody sent an email to E. Jean Carroll saying, hey, are you aware of the fact that there's a Law and Order episode that's largely about the same constellation of facts that you say is what happened to you in Bergdorf Goodman? If the jury is entitled to rely on that, that could be hugely damaging, because it's essentially a vehicle for Tacopina to suggest you made this all up after seeing it on TV. Right. And so I do think that there are things for the jury to hang their hat on here, namely the corroboration from the two people she told in real time and the other two accusers, particularly Natasha Stoynoff, who was one of the most credible witnesses I've ever seen in a courtroom. But at the same time, we still live in a society where victims don't report for a reason.
Lisa Rubin, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.